one of the very active organizing secretary, Mr. Nasir Ahmed Pintu, corresponding secretary, Kharul Hussain, youth secretary, Mehrab Hussain, and many others. As you know, the ASAAL, the Alliance of South Asian American Labor, Brooklyn chapter is one of the largest chapter of ASAAL. ASAAL has 6 chapters in New York City, all the boroughs in New York, and also has chapters in 13 states at present and expanding very fast throughout the United States of America. ASAAL was the backbone of Bangladeshi for Biden campaign, which earned admiration and accolade for the Biden-Harris campaign in recent election. Brooklyn has a large South Asian community, which include Bangladeshi, Pakistanis, Nepalis, Afghani, Sri Lankan, and others. They are a very successful minority community in Brooklyn and established many business and social enterprises in Brooklyn. ASAAL represents them in mainstream politics of Brooklyn. ASAAL has many well-trained volunteers all through our Brooklyn or King County, and who played a significant role in the past many elections and are ready to play more in coming years election campaign and go get voting program. Brooklyn chapter volunteers are also recently assisted leaders of New York State and New York City to send in many community programs like distribution of PPE, food, and others. We also ready to work in hand with all the city vaccination program for COVID pandemic. Our city and state leadership hopefully will accept our cooperation and help into the campaign of future election. And through us, we can also perform many activities of the city and state in our community. We are ready with our volunteers who are very active, sincere, and who has a grassroots root level organization. I welcome all of you for this program today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Brooklyn chapter, Dr. Mujibur Rahman, with your busy schedule, with your university, you are a medical college professor, you are teaching, you have many own, private practice. So with that, you still give us time for the community. We really appreciate. So as promised, our, endorsed mayoral candidate, Scott Stringer, is here. So I promised him that as soon as he comes, we are going to let him speak and go, and then we'll continue our program. Everybody should know about Scott Stringer. He is a friend of our community. Scott started a very young age community work. His mother was a city council member in the 70s, and he became the youngest community board member when he did not finish even his high school. So then I think, as you have known, that he became the assemblyman from 1993 to 2005. He was an assemblyman, and then he became the 26th Manhattan Borough president in 2007. And 2014, he became the 44th controller of New York City, managing one of the largest pension fund with $240 billion big fund, managing that. He's the custodian of all retirement system. So this is his work. But what he has done during this time, every time there is an issue affected throughout the city, especially our South Asian community, he was there. Whether it was a Muslim ban issue, whether it was a Muslim mosque surveillance issue, whether it was a stop and frisk issue, whether it is a senior center issue, whether it is a Wes tapped issue, Scott was there all along with the community. I am the witness, ASAAL is the witness. He always invited ASAAL to be part of what he's doing. So that is why he became our mayoral candidate. most of you know this year election will be the most important election for the city of New York because it is the pandemic time. Economic recovery is the most important. The poor are getting poorer. The homeless are getting more homeless. More people are joining into the shelter. So during that time, we are going to elect someone who can help work with us, bring back the city that we all love. Without any further ado, my friend, our friend, the Honorable Controller of the City of New York, candidate for the mayoral election to be held primary on June 22nd, Scott Stringer. Scott, you're on.
Thank you, everybody. And I want to thank Maf for that beautiful introduction. I have spent a lot of time with many of the members over the last couple of weeks, but our relationship goes back many, many, many years. And I am so proud to be the endorsed candidate of ASAAL. And I'm so proud to be able to be here with you tonight. I want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. My wife said to me, the only thing I could do tonight was to go on a Brooklyn ASAAL Zoom. Then she said, after that, if you make one phone call, you're out of the house. I'll have to move in with Mop. So he doesn't want that. His wife doesn't want that. But let me just tell you about this campaign. We're going to have to bring this city back. We have an economic crisis, we have a healthcare crisis, and we have a social justice crisis. We have a moment in history that we never could have imagined. The entire economy shut down because of a virus we did not know was coming. And the next mayor must have the visions and the skills to bring this city back. And the way we bring it back is going to be different than the way we closed it. We have to invest in all of our communities. That includes the South Asian, the Muslim community. We have to make sure that all of our kids have education opportunities. We have to make sure that, to start off, we have to make sure the children have halal food in the schools. I partnered with MOF to do that, and as mayor, we'll do that within the first few months of taking office. But we also have to realize that we have to protect the civil rights of all people. And that is where we have always stood together, making sure that the community is safe and protected. And I promise you that. But what I also want to say is we're going to win this race. I've raised the money. We're building the support from elected officials throughout the 5 boroughs. We're getting tremendous support from labor. And ASAAL's endorsement, people were very surprised and said, wow, you really are building a multiracial, intergenerational coalition. So I wanted to get on and say to my friend Mav, to Mohammed, to so many of you I've known over the years, we will win this race. And I will never forget that when it came time to make the decision among some very good candidates, ASAAL stood with me. And I want to thank you so much for that. And we're going to win this race. And then we're going to bring the city back to life. And we're going to make sure that our families and our children have the kind of life we want them to have. So with that said, enjoy the meeting. I look forward to seeing you personally soon. And Maf, your leadership in the union, your leadership in ASAAL, your friendship, your loyalty, qualities that in politics you don't always see. But when Maf gives his word, it's like a U.S. savings bond. It's always going to have value. So thank you, my friend. Be safe, everybody. And
thank you very much. Really appreciate
everybody.
it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Mohammed.
Yeah, enjoy the Valentine's Day. I know you deserve it.
And before you go, Scott, I want to just make sure that our Brooklyn chapter is 100% ready. They want to place their boots in every corner of Brooklyn for you. They are ready and they will work. They have trained volunteers in every parts of Brooklyn. They are just waiting for your instruction, and whatever you need in Brooklyn, Dr. Mujibur Rahman Majumdar and Khairul Hussain and their teams are ready for action.
Thank you, my friends. And I look forward to being with you soon. I think we're going to do great. We're going to win Brooklyn at the end of the day, and everyone's going to be, how did that happen? I'm going to say it because ASAAL's with me. Thank you all. Be safe.
Here we go.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
All right.
Okay, now, who's there? You said our elected officials, because I want them to,
Yeah.
We have
also there.
Bishop, I thought Bishop is there.
I saw her, yeah.
Yes, yes. I think Honorable, yes, Rodney Bishop is here.
I'm here.
Yes, yeah. My friend, you look so good. With the Brooklyn Bridge, you are there. You are there. Okay. So the idea is very simple. I think Mujibur Rahman Bhai, our president, has already kind of mentioned that you will be there, and he has a full description about you. I wanted to introduce you, but I want him to introduce you because you will enjoy it. I heard a little bit of it. I did not even know that much what he told already. Mujibur Rahman, Mr. President, can you introduce our chairman of the Kings County Democratic Party and the Assemblywoman, my best friend from day one. So she's now even a super best now. You know.
I'm really honored. I'm really honored to introduce. She's from Flatbush, and I work in Brookdale Hospital. I'm in her district. I have business in many in her district, multiple businesses. So I'm very proud and honored to introduce our next guest speaker. And in fact, when I was looking into her, CVs and all this, I was really, surprised to see. And now, after learning, I'm scared to face her even. She is a black belt holder of Taekwondo. So be careful. don't mess with her. So she is the Democratic Party chair. And very popular in our district. She's a representative of 42nd district. She is from Caribbean, Haiti originally,
yes.
Right? And also she did her studies in Buffalo, New York, and multiple places. She did master's in engineering, mathematics, and also
my major is mathematics too.
Mathematics, engineering.
Also mathematician.
And she also did MBA, and she worked as a school teacher in mathematics in the New York City school system. She works for a banking, service. She worked in a as an engineer in a engineering firm. She also traveled many places, including Africa, Asia, Europe. Many places she went, and she's unbelievable. When I went through her CV and information, I was really saw that she's really terrific. So I'm really honored to present our Brooklyn district, Brooklyn Democratic leader, chairman of Brooklyn Democratic Party, and also the Assemblywoman of 42nd district, Honorable Rodney Bishotti.
Yes.
Bishop to say a few words to us.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for that great introduction, Dr. Mujibar Mujindu. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Majumda, yeah. Sorry, doctor.
No, you're doing good.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Maf.
Yeah.
And all the members of the Alliance of South Asian American Labor. And, Maf can tell you we've been best friends for a very, very long time. I have a love for my South Asian members of the community, Muslim members of the community for a very long time, especially when I was working in the engineering field. I worked with my brothers and sisters diligently in the telecom sector. We would go to many, different countries together. And I was able to learn about the cultures and the work habits and the work ethics. And so it just brings me great pleasure to be here tonight amongst all of you. And Brooklyn, this is the Brooklyn chapter, right? This is Brooklyn.
Yes, it is Brooklyn chapter.
So Brooklyn is the nation capital of New York State, I would say, is the capital of New York State, the largest Democratic Party in the United States. We have over 1.2 million members, and I'm just so happy to be here. I do want to give a shout out to some of the elected officials that I see here. I see Council Member Farrah Lewis, who you will hear from. I also see Honorable Judge D. Esther Paul, who you will hear from, and a few other people. I see Boris Noble that you will hear from as well. And I think District Leader Josh Pierre, who also represent a large South Asian American community. It's great to be amongst family from the labor movement, small business owners and professionals. As mentioned, I've been deeply involved in the community, especially in Brooklyn, by where I live, by the 42nd Assembly District in Little Pakistan, where many of us have been working together with distribution of food, distribution of masks. I've been working closely with organizations like PAYO and COPO and so forth. With Councilmember Farah Lewis, we've been doing a lot over there, and it's been, again, it's been a pleasure for me because I come from an immigrant Black background, like many of you. And, you know, I'm Haitian, and I understand the struggles of, you know, like my mother and my father who came into this country and they worked in the union. My mother was a housekeeper, okay? And she was housekeeping, cleaning rooms and bathrooms for 30 years to put food on our table. And as a result of that, she was able to get the American dream. She bought a house. She raised her 4 kids. Her kids went to school. And the doctor was talking about the different degrees. Yes, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Okay, I started as a mathematics teacher, and then I went to engineering, and then I went to Wall Street. The one good thing I have in common with a lot of you is I know numbers, right?
Yeah. That's why I love you so much.
And then so now I'm a elected official politician, making sure that people understand the number and bringing economics. Just so you know, all of you, I just started school again. I'm in law school. I just started.
Wow.
So I go to Brooklyn Law School. Yes. So
Very good.
So that just tells us who we are. We will never stop.
Yes.
We will never stop. It's never too late to continue to learn and to achieve and to continue to go higher and higher, because our community needs to be heard. Okay.
Yes.
I remember when they had the Muslim ban, remember?
Yep.
The Muslim
Yes.
ban. And let me tell you, that was something that all of us collectively went against.
Yes.
Because that's not what America is about. America is about being inclusive. And so many people need to understand the contributions of the Muslim community, of the South Asian American community. Okay, they need to understand that. From the medical field to government, you know, working to food vending, you know, a lot of you are accountants and statisticians, business owners and so forth. People need to understand the contributions that was made to this country by all of us. And we should not be excluded and disrespected. So I am very, very excited to be here. Again, I'm very responsive to the Pakistani community, the Bengali community, the Indian community in my area by Coney Island Avenue. Of many of you you know, where that's located in Brooklyn. And I have attended Juma prayers, EID break, breaking the fast, and other events with you. And I want to continue to do that. Councilmember Farah Lewis can tell you how it's important for all of us to pray. Because when we pray together, we're praying for peace and love. It doesn't matter what the belief is. I come to the temple and I look to pray, and it's very fulfilling. It's very fulfilling. So again, I'm Assembly Member Rodney B. Short Hermelin. I just got married January 1st. So I do have a Hermelin.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I have to tell you, I got engaged on Diwali Day.
Congratulations. You invite us, okay? We want to attend your marriage ceremony.
Thank you. There. Well, we had a COVID wedding.
I am from Atlanta, Georgia, okay?
Okay, thank you. I just want to also tell you that my husband got engaged with me on Diwali. Do you guys know Diwali? Of course,
Yes,
you know
Diwali, yes.
Right. Of course. One of the reasons it was significant to him is because his father is Indian Guyanese, and so he has Indian in him.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of blended culture here. And so it was really important for us to make Diwali part of our memorable moment. So we got engaged that day, and then we got married on the 1st. So with that said, Maf and everyone else, Dr. Mujumde, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I am with you. Brooklyn is the greatest and the baddest, okay?
Yes.
And we have people here on this chat that you're gonna talk to, like City Council member Farah Lewis, who you all love, okay?
Yes.
She's all over, you all love her, okay?
Yes,
You
we
see
do.
her a lot more than me probably.
And in
You're gonna
fact,
hear-
Bishop, you gave her to us.
Yes, yes. I gave you guys a lot of people.
2019.
Yes.
So Farah Lewis is here, and and you guys gonna listen to 3 phenomenal people. Okay, Judge D.S. Topol is here, District Leader Josh Pierre, and Boris Noble candidate, who actually Boris had introduced me to a lot of Muslim members in the community. Okay, he's very, very close to the Muslim members in the community. Okay, so thank you so much. And now I hand it back to you. Mom, you're gonna introduce council member, right? I'll stay a little bit because I wanna hear everybody, okay?
Yes, Karim, our National Secretary Karim is going to introduce Farah.
Okay.
All right. So, it's a wonderful experience hearing from our county chair. You are not only the assemblywoman, you are not just the politicians from Brooklyn representing all New York City and states immigrants and minority and marginalized group. What you represent, I think that's way bigger because your work, and you know what, you are the example, you are the inspiration of next generation. Bishop, I'm not saying just to make you happy, because when you said I'm going back to Brooklyn Law School now again. You have a master's degree, you have all those, you are a professional engineers, and that said a lot what going on in our politicians' mind. So my children, other people's children, will not think that without education we can achieve anything, especially for us, the immigrant group. You are an example, a pioneer for immigrant community in United States, not in New York State only. Thank you for joining us. Salute, heads up. With that note, I would like to invite, she said, Bichot already said, our city councilwoman, Farah Lewis. Farah Lewis is an example of a passionate politician. She was 6 years working with our good friend Jumani Williams. And many of Brooklyn's people, our political spectrum in New York State, I think everybody knows her very well because of her dedication, because of her mission, and what she believes in and what she is delivering to her community. She is a daughter of an immigrant family, went to our New York City's public school, and her mother was a union member. She herself was a healthcare worker. Farah Lewis was a member of 1199. I am, as a New York State Public Employee Federation member, I salute every unionized worker, and I try to bring non-organized, unorganized people to the union. This is one of my mission as a union worker, union activist. I always do. And when I read her bio, and I know, Farah Lewis very well, and for a long time, and when we endorsed her after her election, the special election, we know her that she would be the right candidate to represent most diverse Brooklyn neighborhood in New York City. And she's doing this thing. She's bringing the hope and unity in Brooklyn. She loves the the people of color, and she represents all the immigrant community, because her struggle is the real struggle of everyone, not only in ASAAL, all the immigrant and minority communities. Her struggle is like she's reflecting our struggle. And I feel Farah Louise is one of us. I can see us in her face. So we are so happy, so proud to have a councilwoman representing us with that dignity, integrity, and with that kind of mission that serve our community best. Without further delay, I would like to invite our beloved councilwoman, Farah Louise. Farah, floor is yours.
Good evening, Asal. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
We always hear you.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you this evening. And I'm happy to see my colleagues here, Assembly Member Rodney's Bishop Hermelin. I also see Judge D. Esther Paul. And I see District Leader Josh Pierre, and I heard earlier our New York City Comptroller, Scott Stringer. I'm happy that we're all joining you on Valentine's Day, a day of love, a day of love for our labor, right? So I want to thank you all for inviting us and allowing us time and space to be with you all. As Mohammed mentioned, and I'm so happy to see you, Mohammed. As you mentioned, I'm a daughter of immigrants and also a proud former union member for 1199, and I still represent all labor till I die. I will always represent labor till I die, and will fight for labor till I die, because I know how important it is to support those that are in labor. As the comptroller mentioned earlier and our assembly member mentioned earlier, our city isn't still in a state of crisis, but I love to tell people we're in a state right now where we're reimagining recovery and we're making it work. So I want to thank ASAAL for inviting me out to join you all and all of your phenomenal members on Friday as we went to the mosque to give out PPE, and I look forward to doing so much more with you all. We have the vaccination component. I spoke to some of the members at the mosque about the upcoming ranked choice voting process that's about to change our city drastically. So the leadership in our city is going to change drastically due to ranked choice voting. So there's so much that we need to work on, and I look forward to educating our communities on this process and so much more. There's so much to talk about this evening, but I just want to let you all know that I look forward to working with some of the nonprofit organizations in my district that represent your community, because you're people of my people. My family is made up of folks that are Muslim, that are Catholic, and that are Christian. And I know how important prayer is. I know how important religion is, and I know how important being unified is. So I stand with you all in all capacities, whether if it's learning about changing leadership in our city, whether if it's focusing on recovery, or having honest conversations about things that need to change in our city. I'm here for you and want to continue to work with you all. My office is located at 1434 Flatbush Avenue. We're currently closed, but we're open virtually to support all of our community in various capacities. And if a constituent is having an issue, since we can't let them in the office, I go to their homes. I make sure that to go to their homes, go on their blocks, or we'll meet up at Payo, meet up at Copo, and we support them in that capacity. Even though the city closed down our office, that doesn't mean that we can't get to them. So please know that I'm a resource in any capacity. I want to thank Dr. Majudar for the opportunity to see you and meet you the other day and to be with ASAAL. We had a phenomenal time giving out PPE, and we're going to do so much more, as I stated. Thank you so much, Mohammed, for helping to organize that effort. Thank you, Maf, for helping to organize that effort. And we're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to reimagine, and we're going to continue to recover together. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all.
You're welcome. We are so proud having you in our side, and our people.
I just want to say a few words. This is Dr. Mazumdar. On behalf of Brooklyn chapter, all our members and the volunteers, I really want to thank our Honorable Farah Louise. That was one of the coldest day, and she stood up outside the mosque and distributed PPE to all these people that are coming out of the mosque. It was so nice, and everybody was so happy. I really, really want to thank her again from on behalf of Brooklyn chapter and also Bilal Mox to come there at that day and help us to distribute. It was really wonderful event. Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Farah and Mujib, all the Brooklyn chapter people. Farah just mentioned that she was going to do some ranks choice voting seminars. She and I have spoken yesterday. She will make ASAAL as co-sponsor with her office.
Sure.
I want you to stay in touch with her, give those seminars wherever you think important, because people need to be educated. More elections are coming. 43 city council member out of 51 is getting elected. It will be a new ball game, as Farah said. She will be one of the senior person on the city council, and she will be there for quite few years. You guys once work with her, once know her style, can do a lot of good things for the community.
Sure.
Okay. Mabbai, please unmute yourself. Somehow you muted yourself.
Oh, I always do that. Yeah, but you are, of course, sponsor. So what I said is, in fact, same thing. I just don't want to repeat it. She said that there will be ranked choice voting seminars with jointly sponsored by ASAAL, Brooklyn chapter. So in the coming days, it will happen. You already heard her office may be closed, but she is not closed. She even visits her constituents on a regular basis. So that way we'll come to the one point where we will be able to do those things, and more PPEs as needed. If you need, call her, talk to her, call our county chair, Bichette, as she mentioned. And it is true. It is the largest county in the United States of America. And she's leading that county, and she's here today. So it is very important. Not only she is a mathematician, she is an engineer. She is now becoming a lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
She's one in many. So which is very important. All we need her. We get whole Brooklyn with us.
Thank you, Ma. By the way, my husband is here.
Hey, oh my God, he looked like an Indian too.
My Indian husband.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you. As you can tell by my features, yes, I am of South Asian descent.
Yes, you like him, because you are the luckiest guy who got the best among the politicians. I love her so much. From day one, the day she started, we go from the beginning, and whatever she does now, I have 100% support. And today, I think few of our people are here. They're going to speak. I'm going to introduce them with our community. And they all will be elected, God willing, on June 22nd. Yes, okay?
Thank you very much. I just want to say hello to everybody.
Thank you.
I noticed that you have Councilmember Farah Lewis here. I see you have my good friend Boris Noble. You have District Leader Josh Pierre, and you have Judge Duini Esther Paul.
Yes.
All good friends of mine, all positive people,
Oh,
all
really?
committed to the South Asian community. They're all committed to me, at least. I just want to make sure.
That is important. That is important. Once they're committed to you, they will be committed to us. And in fact, this is a huge city, big city, and many of us need help in every community. I know that,
Ma, if I was going to say, he's a district leader too. He's a district
really?
leader. Yeah, in the 43rd. So he's part of the Brooklyn. Yeah, people didn't know that. He's a district leader in the 43rd.
Wow, that's good.
Very good.
Yeah, so we have two district leaders of South Asian descent. That's myself and Mr. Richard David out in Queens.
Yes. Richard David is a friend of mine. He's
Yeah, so we're definitely growing.
So I'm going to send you the form very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you so much.
District leader, you have to go up, and we are going to push for it. We'll not talk to her. We'll get you there. Thank you very much.
Senator Parker is here. Another elected
Kevin
official.
Parker, then we'll go somewhere else.
Yes. So you want me to do the Senator Parker, Dr. Mujibur Rahman?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So as our promised, we will try to give the chance right away our elected officials, because and we are honored with their time today, but we do not want to hold them longer. They have many more important responsibilities, many other meetings and programs, in addition to the today is Valentine's Day, but they have other responsibilities. So without further delay, Senator Parker is well-known politician in New York, not only in New York State. His involvement with all the state politicians, America-wide, all 50 state politicians. He's one of the leader, one of the teacher in that state senators, politicians, training institutes, you can say in a general language. And Mr. Parker.
And Karim, he's my friend. That is more important.
Yeah, you will say it. Every politicians in New York State, they are your friend, no doubt about it. We know this thing well. So, Senator Parker is from Senatorial District 21 that contains in Brooklyn. He was he went to elementary school, middle school, high school, college, only except he did his bachelor degree in Penn State University. Otherwise, he did his master's in CUNY. And he's an adjunct professor now. He's also teaching. So another asset in our state we have that values educations and continually. When he is a professor of a college, adjunct professor, he's still studying. So that shows the love to education, and that shows the example to our next generation that what education can do, and especially this is so true, so practical for our immigrant communities, including people of color. Every immigrant, even the European Caucasian immigrants, they need that kind of the empowerment initiatives, mission that can bring real change in our community. And Mr. Parker is a chairman now for. He's the chair for I think telecommunication and energy and telecommunication senatorial committee, and also he is involved with banking, insurance, finance, and many other state committee. His contribution to the states, I cannot finish by saying whole night. And his work is bringing real change in New York State. He's an example to the generations to come, how he built himself, his community, and the state. Without further delay, I would like to welcome our beloved senator. Everybody knows by name him, Senator Parker. Please welcome Senator Parker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chowdhury. I really appreciate that. Again, I'm State Senator Kevin Parker. I represent the 21st District in Brooklyn, which is part of Canarsie and part of Flatlands, but principally Flatbush and East Flatbush, Midwood, Ditmas Park, Windsor Terrace, and Park Slope. Again, as you heard Mr. Chowdhury say, I'm the chairman of the Energy and Telecommunications Committee, as well as the majority whip in the New York State Senate. But then also this year, because there's an opening, I'm running for New York City Comptroller. And certainly would love your support and your help and your endorsement as we go forward, and we should certainly have those conversations. Let me just acknowledge my good friend, Mohammed Chowdhury. Good to see you. Mafa, great to see you, of course. My long time friend. Almost didn't recognize you with that white beard.
I see you have beard too. That's good.
Yes, I'm trying to blend in. You have a lot of friends on here, but certainly I have to acknowledge my chairwoman of the Democratic Party here in Kings County, the greatest county of Democrats in the entire world. My friend, Rodney Prashad, and her new husband, who's also my friend, by the way, separately, Urdu, Herleen. Just great to see you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you guys look great together in the background of the Brooklyn Bridge. What up, kid?
What's up, Kevin? Good to see you.
Good to see
Everybody
you guys.
doesn't know our story, but I've known Kevin longer than every other person that's on this
we go back a
if you
long
can get
time.
that $5 he owes me, it'll be a great thing.
Yeah, we go back a long time. Good to see you. And I want to acknowledge our next surrogate judge, Deweyne Paul. Great to see you again, and looking forward to helping you elevate. My district leader in the 42nd Assembly District, Josh Pierre, and most importantly, my city councilwoman, who I see on the call, who's actually supposed to be my new Valentine, but I didn't want to, mix stuff. But Farrah Lewis, and then my colleague in government, Roxanne Prasad, who's doing a great job. There's a lot of work up there, and Roxanne is seeing me on Zoom more than she wants to because every day we have things going on. Look, I'm not going to keep you long. I come from a tradition where I learned the 3 B's of public speaking, right? Begin, be brief, and then be gone. So I'm not gonna, talk you to death like I got free nights and weekends. But what I am gonna say to you is that there's a lot going to be happening this year. We're in the middle of trying to come out of this pandemic. We're fighting for both our lives and our livelihoods. And in your communities, that is even more critical, particularly because this has such a disproportionate impact on small businesses, right? And the Southeast Asian community has a lot of small businesses. And let me just say this, one of the things that really the cornerstone of what I'm running on as city controller is to make sure that we build small businesses, that we make sure we get access to capital, we get access to bonding, that we provide technical assistance and the mentorship that some of the small businesses need to advance. We need to continue to do reform around the police department. I've been one of the leaders in Albany on that. But then we also need to make sure that we deal with the issue around just our financial stability. And again, as you heard in my bio, I worked for the first governor, in the Empire State Development Corporation, worked for the state controller, worked on Wall Street at Payne Weber. And for 18 years, since you've allowed me to be in the Senate, I've been on the finance committee, and over the last decade on the banking committee and the insurance committee. And so I bring a wealth of knowledge and experience. And I think that I have the unique combination of experience, leadership, and vision for this city that I think can take us there. And let me just say this, particularly in this community, there's a lot of work that I've done. There is probably nobody in the country on my level who is an expert on Sharia compliant finance. And I have done that because those of you who know me know that I have spent a lot of time, I've represented, the largest Pakistani community outside of Pakistan in the world. Sharia compliant finance was an important part. I actually have a bill that I'm doing with Charles Fall on allowing sukuk to be used in terms of the state controller's office, right? And for those of you who don't know what sukuk is, call me afterwards and I'll explain all to you about the bonding process. But it is an important part. I've carried for years a bill that would create Eid as a holiday. I think my sensitivity, to the community and my long-term relationship, I think will be an asset. And so I just want to thank you for having me on and have an opportunity to join you today. I see the deputy speaker is on the line. Let me acknowledge my Assemblyman Nick Perry, who's joined us as well. And so again, Maf, Mr. Chowdhury, all, thank you for having me. I look forward to working together, but more importantly, I look forward to building this city back to a place of prosperity. God bless you all.
Yeah, I think sometime next week, Kevin, I'm going to invite you for our screening for the
thank you.
Contras. I know that you are running, and there are 2-3 people already called me. So we are going to do that very soon. I know you. I know your background because, I think the stock transfer tax is your issue. You have been fighting for that. It can bring $16 billion when there is a shortfall of the money. It can do so many good things. So you are good.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming today. Your time is the most important time for our community. They feel that you care about us. That is important,
I think Senator Roxanne is here.
Yes.
Dr. Mujibur Rahman wants to introduce her. Senator Roxanne, our good friend.
Yes.
She's here.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead, Mujibur, if you can introduce Senator Roxanne.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. I'm being very honored. I'm as a Brooklyn chapter president to introduce our New York State Senator Roxanne Prasad. So she's a state senator of 19th district. She's also the chair of the Social Service Committee. And I'm very, very happy that in this Valentine's Day, she made her time to come and join our
He's in New
this
Jersey.
Zoom meeting.
He's not even in New York.
Thank you, and please, floor is yours.
Well, good evening, everyone, and happy Valentine's to each and every one of you. It is great to see so many people coming together on this Valentine's Day to speak about important topics that affect us all in the city. First, let me also acknowledge all of my colleagues who are on the line. It's great seeing everyone here. I just wanted to quickly come on, math threatened me, everyone.
No, I love it.
No, just kidding. Math, my mom says hello, and she's waiting for you.
How she's doing? We are going to have some Indian food for her very soon. By May, June, definitely.
Yeah, she asked about that, and she didn't get to come to celebrate your birthday this year, but we'll get back together.
Yes.
For everyone, we're back in Albany. We're off this upcoming week. And we are trying to do the things in the budget to ensure that New York gets back on its feet. As the chair of social services, it's my responsibility to ensure that those in need of social services are receiving what they deserve. We've been working with our federal partners to ensure that funding is going to be coming to New York State, and more particularly to New York City, so that we can housing. We have the continued housing insecurity, the food insecurity, which the pandemic has shown the light on. Too often we sit back and say, oh, everything is fine. And the pandemic has really shown us the holes in our system, the things that we need to work on. I've been working with members in the Bangladeshi community also, making sure that we're, trying to get culturally sensitive foods and things of that nature to the community. So we will continue to do so. I hope you guys have been following our budget hearings just to hear some of the things that we're talking about, and to make sure you have input into the issues that are affecting your community. Too often, we're doing the things and making decisions thinking that we know exactly what your community needs, because sometimes you're not coming forward to tell us what is missing. I hope that you will come forward and let us know some of the things that are missing. As Senator Parker said, we are still working on, the holidays. We are continuing to do so and hope that we can move it forward, in a not too distant future. And the halal food issue, that's still an issue in schools and our senior centers. And even when we were distributing our food boxes during this pandemic, we do not have enough of the food for particular ethnic cultures. And so those are some of the things that we have to look at. So again, it is great seeing all of you. Great see you still in the fight. Great that, even on Valentine's Day, you are here fighting the good fight. And so again, thank you for having me. It is always great to come forward and continue to support ASAAL. And I look forward to when we can get back together in the same space instead of only being here virtually. So again, thank you very much and have a great evening. Happy Valentine's again.
Same here. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Yes.
Before we go to the next speakers, we have another deputy speaker of the assembly. Our good friend Nick Perry is here, so I will not take time. I want to say a few words about Roxanne. I did not see one ASAAL convention that Roxanne was not there. Every convention she is there with us. So Roxanne, we are so grateful to you and the service you provide to New York State. That is a great example of your service. And keep in mind that we are always with you. Whenever you need us, Brooklyn Chapter ASAAL is ready.
Thank you very, very much. I look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yes.
We will see each other. Very good.
Thank you.
Papa, it is your chance to introduce our...
Regards to your mom and everybody. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, of course, Nick. Nick, I wanted you to know Karim Chaudhary because I thought that last October And 2020, I would have suggested his name as your honoree. So you write down his name today because he's our national secretary, Karim Chaudhary, and also Public Employee Federation delegate to the Central Labor Council, and also Division 10, I think, leader, political action, coordinator, so many things which I am going to introduce him later. But here my responsibility before we bring others is to introduce my friend who is in the State Assembly over now, what is it, 23 years? Nick, yeah, I know you are, you are
I think he's muted.
But anyway, I think he's serving his 12th term as the Assembly, New York State Assembly, and also he's now the Deputy Speaker of New York State Assembly, one of the...
Everybody make that mistake.
Huh?
What we did this time?
Okay. Now you can talk.
Well,
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Nick, go ahead. You are.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes.
I'm the assistant speaker pro tem.
Okay, Kevin Ferguson, deputy. That is why I used to.
The deputy. Well. People make a lot of mistakes with those titles, and if you were in the assembly, you'd probably know that some people don't want you to mix up their titles at all. My current set of colleagues don't make a big deal about it, but we had a situation once with other members who don't joke with their titles. It's not a big deal to me. The big deal for me is working for the people and providing the service that I'm elected to provide. So it's good to join you this evening, Mav, and the ASAAL members who took time off from enjoying a big Valentine's Day party and come to this event instead. And you look a lot more like a king, Mav, with that beard you have grown. All you need to pull it off is a crown and the right garbs and some people attending around you. But it's always a pleasure to join the ASAAL group. It's a delight to greet your Brooklyn chapter of the Alliance of South Asian American Labor. Let me commend your leader, Mujibur Majumdar.
Thank you.
For being instrumental in bringing us together in this effort to fortify the South Asian labor movement. No one's questioned the long-term, time-tested adage that in unity there is strength. Most wise people tell you that it is an absolute deniable truth. So any action that brings us together, people who believe in the benefits of organized labor are indeed worthy of testament. Speaking of which, none of this would be occurring without your leadership, Mav, your vision as president and founder. I've known you for a long time, and Mav, certainly you are assuredly dedicated to the growth and vitality of the labor movement. And if there is one thing that you excel at, it is bringing people together and having them work towards a common goal. And one of your big interests is the Southeast Asian community's involvement, and you've dedicated yourself to making sure that this is not just for your neighbors in Queens, but all across the great city of New York. So I live in Brooklyn, and I'm very pleased to know that now we have an active, recognized body of the organization under able leadership, pushing for the unity of labor, those who are union members and those who believe that labor membership in the unions are vital to getting the best benefits for workers, then certainly I want to be numbered as a part, included as a part of the movement. Forward to working with you over the next year as we try to put together the agenda that will improve the conditions of living and working and economic conditions for those of your members and for all New Yorkers. Thank you for the opportunity to join you this evening. And certainly I want to also say, Maf, that we know you work hard, we know you're gifted and talented, and you bring a lot of good people together, but you could not achieve all of this without Mazida Udin.
Yes, it is.
I'm waiting for your acknowledgement,
Yes,
because I'm sure.
Valentine's Day, yes.
Yes, and I want to make sure that I mention her this evening, because she is really a firebrand behind you, beside you, all around you, and certainly nobody could have a better partner. So thank you for the opportunity to join in to bring a few words, and let me say hello to my colleagues. I don't know if any of them still celebrate Valentine's Day, but happy Valentine's Day. And all who don't have a Valentine, my prayer and my wish is that you get one, just like Maf was lucky.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you
know,
very much.
Assemblyman,
I just want to mention something very important. Yeah, give my regards to Joyce, your wife. She's the best. And every October, you have a fundraising dinner that is largest political elected officials arranged dinner that you do every year. Last year, of course, because of the pandemic, we could not do. This year, there is a possibility. Hopefully by June, July, it will be better. October, we will not miss it. And also, I just want to announce this today. Assemblyman Nick Perry has honored our organization itself. He honored me many, many years ago, but then at his dinner, he has honored the Alliance of South Asian American Labor as an organization, that exactly what he said in his speech, that the work that we do for the community, even on this day, on a Valentine's Day, we could have done so many other things, but we came for a few hours to do what we do the best, and they appreciate it. And it is because of the Brooklyn, he lives in Brooklyn, all the politicians that came, they are also from Brooklyn. They also appreciate what ASAAL people in Brooklyn under the leadership of Dr. Mujibur Rahman, who is a very busy person, but is still, I always say only busy people can produce. And he's the one who is producing and bringing this team together. Nick, we really appreciate. Now, your candidate is here. You mentioned to me about your someone running for city council.
Mercedes Narcisse running in Brooklyn's 46th council district, Maf.
Is he here, 46th council? No, he's not coming.
I don't think she's here today.
no, I did not see her, Mercedes.
Okay, Mercedes, yes.
One other thing, Maf, the West Indies had a victorious tour of Bangladesh.
Yes.
And we won both of the test matches.
Cricket, he's talking about cricket.
I know. Sometimes you lose too. That is.
About Nick, I think, Mabwai, you missed one point about Nick Perry, that he is the University of Political Institution. He is teaching the politics in minority communities. I recognized his all the training. He's creating the new politicians, new generation of politicians from his office. And this is the resource our community, the minority community, people of color can use. And for that devotion, creating many, many leaders from the minority groups, his contribution is huge. So I would like to salute him for his contribution to create a lot of new leaders from your office. Thank you, Mr. Perry.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Mabay, we have any other elected officials here? So I have Josh Pire, that he's a city council candidate from District 40, and he's the district leader, and I think he's also a co-leader for the Kings County Democratic Party. So do you want me to give him?
Yes.
Josh, please introduce yourself, few words, and say, take the floor. Josh Pire.
Thank you, Chaudhry, for the introduction. Thank you, Maf, for having me here as well. Unfortunately, I haven't seen you since the last Labor Day parade, when it was okay to go out and be there, celebrate labor. But I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here with your community, the South Asian American community. Not only has this community given a lot to Western civilization, because I love history, but in coming to the United States and contributing both your talents, your skill sets, you have made Brooklyn a better place. You've made New York City a better place. In particular, I want to shout out all my community members and friends that are along that Coney Island, Kensington area, because if it were not for the Pakistani, Bangladeshi, and other East Asian communities that were there, it would be a desolate place, and you would not have the level of commercialism and activity. So you have come and contributed historically, and now you come and you contribute to the well-being of our city, and we're grateful for that. So my name is Josier Pierre. You can call me Josh. I am a candidate for New York City Council. I'm seeking to represent Flatbush, Kensington, Ditmas Park, South Crown Heights, and Midwood. I started off my life here in the United States as 5 years old because my dad, he immigrated here and he worked 3 jobs. My mother, she was a home health aide, and they valued education. And even though we did not get to go to the best public schools, I worked very hard and I got into Baruch College, where I got my degree in accounting. And because I was a graduate of Baruch College, I started my career at PricewaterhouseCoopers, where I was an auditor. And I eventually became a senior financial analyst for the Office of the New York City Comptroller, where my job was investing pension money into affordable housing across the city. And that's also where I worked with my colleague, Maf's son, at the Comptroller's office. I think it's very important that as we look to tackling this budget crisis, that labor is heavily involved and that we are partnering and listening to labor. If we do not address this financial crisis in the right way, they will want to cut the benefits that your organizations and other labor groups have accrued over the past 10 years in order to close the budget gap. That will mean less benefits for retirement and less benefits for healthcare, et cetera, and pay. This will slow down our communities. So I think it's critically important that we partner together. I look forward to speaking with especially the Brooklyn members of your organization so that we can connect and that we can find out what are the key issues that are important to your community so that when we go to city council, we're properly representing you and your interests. As of today, I have the support of the United Federation of Teachers, UFT, Retail Department Store Workers, RWDSU, New York Communities for Change, and a number of other unions. But I would be especially proud to have your organizations, especially accountants, because at the end of the day, I am an accountant to the core. And I believe what we need now in city councils, accountants who are going to count that money and make sure that the resources are coming down to your community. I'm not going to take up any much more of your time, but I will be reaching out to Maf, and I will be reaching out to Mr. Chaudhry and the doctor so that I can connect with you all individually and get your perspectives and introduce myself in a more formal way. Thank you again for the opportunity. Have a good night. And I look forward to seeing you all again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. We'll be in touch. I have your number and so on and so forth. And of course, Bishet is on the case. So now we have a judge here today, who is the surrogate court judge candidate, Joanne Esther Paul. Is she there? I saw.
I'm here. I am here.
Beautiful picture.
Good evening.
Now I see her in face to face. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Marv, Udan. You know, first, assalamu alaikum. First, give all the glory and all the honor and praise to God, who is the head of my life. I have to say greetings to Maf Udan, greetings to Majunda and Muhammad and Chaudhry and all of the executive committee, the board, put this wonderful gathering together. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Gathering together. I have to say, I really feel like I'm home. The more I hear everyone talking, it's just, I know how closely connected we are through our culture, through our value system, through our education, even coming here as immigrants and experiencing what it is to be here with the language barrier. I'm a first generation born here. My parents were born in Haiti and migrated to this country. You know, my mother was actually an orphan at the age of 8, and she came from the countryside to the city when she was 13 years old in Haiti for the first time so that she can have a formal education. And there's so much that connects me to you and that connects you to me when I know about all of the stories and the journey. You know, I started out in family court and I'm in civil court now. And just being able to work with family members in different cultures, the different dialects, I understood how important it was to be a judge with compassion. And sometimes I take that word lightly, but compassion is something that's built from experience. You can empathize with someone, you can have compassion for someone's experience when you have experienced the same thing. And I know watching my parents come here, struggling English as a second language, you know, off of the charity of other people in the community. She came here to Brooklyn without having family here, but someone in Haiti called a friend who called in a favor and said, I'm sending my family member to Brooklyn. She only has 2 suitcases. Please take care of her. And you know what we do as a community? We cover each other. And they covered my mother. And from that, she graduated. She went to school. She graduated from CUNY. After graduating from CUNY, she became a nurse. She became a union member with 1199. And she started a journey from scratch. So that way she can provide a different experience of a childhood and life for me. And I'll tell you, I'm running for Kings County Surrogate Court. And surrogate court is the court where you go and where cases deal with family members who have passed away, and we monitor and distribute the assets from that person who passed away, from your loved one, your mother, your father, your grandparents, your sister, your brother, to the other family members. And when you think about that, the surrogate stands in the shoes of the person who passed away. And so my mother passed away a year ago, and my experience, my compassion, my integrity, my sense of fairness comes from my personal experience, knowing what it meant to start from scratch, very humble beginnings, and to build something so that my generation, so that I would have a head start. That's what it means to be a surrogate. I would stand in the shoes of the person who passed away and work to honor their wishes. And make sure that their family receives every bit of that legacy. Because that's what my mother did, behind a legacy. And our community deserves that. I remember when I think about my faith and I think about how much that drives us, leads us to do the right thing, to work hard. I'm having a little difficulty.
We
So I just greet you all. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be amongst what feels like family. And I'll ask for your support in this endeavor to become the next Kings County Court Surrogate Court Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your coming and joining, saying few words. We'll be in touch because I have your number, or Bichette is not going to be on top of me. We're going to discuss it very soon. And now we have one more. I think I see two more.
Yeah, Boris Noble, he's a city council candidate. So we need, he's a district leader. Boris Noble.
Yeah, put Boris Noble. Then I think I'll.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, Boris, how are you?
Yes. Hello. Greetings. Salam alaikum. Good evening. Just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Boris Noble. I'm a candidate for City Council in the 48th Council District, currently represented by Chaim Deitch, which basically covers a large part of South Brooklyn, anywhere from Midwood till the beaches.
Okay.
A little bit about me. I'm a member of Local 371 in DC 37, and I'm proud to say I got endorsed by DC 37. Labor strong. And by 32K, HTC, NICENA, CWA1, and Local 237. My mother and my father are both union members. My mother was a member of Local 37 NYCHA. My father was a member of Local 100, TW Local 100 MTA. And like many of you, I'm an immigrant. I was born in what is now known as Ukraine. At the time, it was part of the Soviet Union, and came here as a stateless refugee, actually fleeing religious persecution when I was 4 years old. So I grew up in Brooklyn, lived here basically my entire life, and have a very good appreciation for the diversity of this borough. First and foremost, I can say my campaigning, every other Friday I've been to a mosque, the Islamic Center of Brighton Beach, the Ayyub Sultan Center, which is the largest mosque in Brooklyn, which has surprised a lot of people. The largest mosque in Brooklyn is not in Bay Ridge, and is not even in Coney Island Avenue or on Newkirk in Little Pakistan. It's actually in Brighton Beach, and it's a Turkish mosque. And what amazes me is that the diversity within Islam. When I went there, I spoke Russian to Azeri people, Uzbek, Tajik, and they also spoke Russian. And you know, there's a lot of misconceptions about Islam. Interestingly enough, Bangladesh and Pakistan either had or have a female prime minister. Yes. The United States never had a female president, yet two major Muslim countries, majority Muslim countries, have had a female leader. So that kind of shows you where there's a lot of misconception. I always appreciate going to Eid, breaking the fast. But I always see so many similarities between religion. I pray 3 times a day, every day, without since I was 13, since my bar mitzvah, I've basically never missed it, more or less, unless it was illness. Beautiful. So I, appreciate when people tell me, "Oh, I got to do Maghrib," like, "Oh, I got to rush," I got 5 minutes left, etc. And likewise, due to I'm a kosher observer, so and my circle of friends really include people from every walk of life in every religion, and I always tell people you have to appreciate diversity within diversity. In the Muslim world, 4 out of 5 Muslims are not Arabs, and people think when they think of Muslims, they think of Arabs, but they don't realize that the largest Muslim country is Indonesia. The second largest one is Pakistan. And if India was its own country, it would actually be the 3rd largest Muslim country. So I understand that. Diversity within diversity. Part of what I'm running about is security, hate crimes. I actually was unfortunately a victim of a hate crime myself this past summer, where I had a tooth knocked out. And I know many members of the community have been or continue to be either verbally or even physically assaulted. And these things need to be prosecuted. They cannot be. There's no compassion when it comes to hate crimes, in my opinion, because hate is a motivating factor to do more hate. So that is something that I would focus on as well when I would become your council member. A large Southeast Asian population in the 40th Council District, predominantly Pakistani, but large Bengali, and Turkish and Albanian population as well. Again, you can find out more about me on my website, nobleforcouncil.com, NOBLEFORCOUNCIL.com. I'd also be the first Russian speaker to represent Brighton Beach in the New York City Council, which is something that would be historic as well. So again, thank you.
Yes.
I'm a member of Labor. I am proud to be Labor. I am descendant of Labor and endorsed by Labor. So I seek your support as well, and look forward to working with you both now and in the future. And thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, Boris, I proudly call myself, still I'm a member of Local 371, and I just moved to a state now. Now I am a PEP member, New York State Public Employee Federation. But for several years, I was a Local 371, and still I maintain my friendship with Anthony Oils and Michelle Akupanko. They're the president and vice president. And thank you for joining us today. And please.
Boris, you are Local 375, is it?
371.
Boris.
371. I'm a member Local 371.
Okay, I got it. Very good, no problem.
And I should point out, I want to point out in my office before the pandemic, we had two Udins. We had Shabuddin and Udin that were Bengalis. So one of them was called by his initial. They both had the same first name.
Exactly.
So
and I have no relation.
So everybody called MD. No, it's a common name, I know, but one of his initials MD, so we called him Doctor. So we always had a doctor in the house. Why not? Doctor, there's a doctor in the house. So here we actually have doctors. So Dr. Mujibur is a doctor. So
yes, he's not the name. He's a
always good to have a doctor during a pandemic.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now I think we have.
Thank you.
Shirley Paul is there. Shirley.
Yes, I am here. Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Thank you for having me. Dr. Rahman, Secretary Hassan. Good to see you, Mr. Chowdhury, and everyone else. My name is Shirley Paul. I am a candidate for New York City Council here in District 46 in Brooklyn. Includes some of the neighborhoods of Canarsie, Mill Basin, and Sheepshead Bay. I thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about me. I am the proud daughter of immigrants. My family is from Haiti. And I just want to say, there's so much said about the immigrant community, but I must say they are very courageous to leave your homeland that you know so well, that you have contacts, that you have relationships, you're accustomed to the language and food, and come to a place that oftentimes doesn't respect who you are, what you come with, and whomever you were before is a very bold thing. My parents did that in the 1970s, just on a hope, having faith that they could provide a different kind of future for their kids that they didn't even have yet. So it's 4 of us that were born here. And I'm just so proud of everything that they've done. As I said, they're immigrants, so they took some jobs that not everyone would be pleased to take. So I know a little bit about unions in terms of why it's great to have them. And I even know the struggles of not having it. My father drove a taxi my entire life and was forced to retire early because he didn't have any health care. My mother, before she became a 32BJ member cleaning bathrooms in JFK Airport, she was injured as a factory worker. And that was the first time I saw the impact of not having a union. There's no sick days, no help for her, no workers' comp, no nothing, no safeguards to protect her as someone who gave her every day to this job. So I know the importance of unions. I was a proud DC 37 member and worked as a secretary in the New York State Courthouse and worked my way through law school. I am now a duly admitted attorney, have been an attorney for 7 years. And I would like to shout out Your Honor that's on here. I see my senator here, Madame Leader Rodney's Bouchard. Thank you all. And I just want to say, like I said, I'm seeking victory, God willing, in District 46, and it would be historic. Why is that? We've never had a Black person, a person of color represent us in a district that's overwhelmingly Black, in a district that's overwhelmingly female. There's never been a woman here. And I want to change that. And not just because I'm Black. not just because I'm a woman, but because I'm experienced. I'm qualified. I've worked on every level of government. I've worked for the federal government, including our now president, Joseph R. Biden, when he was the senator of Delaware. I've worked for Governor Cuomo and Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul. I've also worked for the New York City Law Department. I've worked for judges, helping folks stay in their homes, fighting foreclosures, which is one of the primary issues in my candidacy and that I want to take care of. And the district that I live in has the most foreclosures than any other zip code here in the city. And that means that people of color aren't able to transfer wealth. I want to put in safeguards and preventive measures to help them there and do other things, help our students. You know, it's not that remote learning couldn't work in this dire time of COVID. It's just that some people don't have the resources. We need free broadband access for all of our kids and for our seniors. We can't be putting a world together where we say, be prepared for the jobs of tomorrow, and we're not equipping them properly. So I need your support. I have the good ideas. I have an understanding of legislation and budget. I've successfully passed legislation in the New York State Senate to increase diversity in our professors throughout the SUNY system. And there's lots of other things that I've been doing. I've been a public servant here in Brooklyn for over 20 years, but I want to marry my experience and my compassion for people, in particular for our community. I'm not being selfish and saying other communities don't deserve representation, but us immigrants, we work too hard. For my parents, for my father to have driven a taxi all his life, and my mother to clean bathrooms, and now their daughter's an attorney and a candidate for New York City Council, that's a big deal. But I want to expand those opportunities for your kids. What you all are doing by coming together as the Alliance of the South Asian American Labor Organization, you're giving voice to the voiceless. You're letting other people in your community know that there's opportunities, that things could be different for them. And we're looking for things to be different for our children. So I would love for you guys can learn more about me. I'll be like hopefully my future colleague, Boris, and share my information. You can find more about me at shirleypaulny.com. I look forward to joining you wherever you may have me so I can share more information with you.
We are going to do that. We are going to be in touch. So now you said you were a DC 37 member, which years?
I'm sorry?
You were a DC 37 member?
I was a DC 37 member from 2005 to 2010. And they helped me pay for grad school. So when I had—
That's what I thought, yes.
Yes.
So I became treasurer of District Council 37 in 2004. And I am still the treasurer of the DC 37. And now president of local 47. Very good. So 1070 was your local. Your local was 1070?
No, I was in the ASL-CIO chapter. No, I was a secretary at the time.
Okay. So very good. Nice to meet you. Now, Frank Shea. Frank Shea, you are here?
Yeah, he's here.
Frank.
Unmute yourself. Unmute, please.
I don't know that Frank wanted to say something. Is he running?
I don't know. I saw him. And Frank, are you there? Please unmute yourself and speak.
Okay. So
next.
Yeah, that's fine. So Koribhai, now you need to go back to our original chapter introduction, because we could not get that time because one after another came. Especially we have some guests from other chapter here. I think I saw North Carolina, Rashidul Islam, Washington, D.C., Sharafat Hussain, Kabirul Islam from Maryland, I think Albab Shohag.
Mercedes just joined. I need to, you want to call her? Mercedes Narcisi? Mercedes?
Yes.
She just joined.
Yeah, we want to.
Yeah, we need to finish the guest.
We did not invite these people, but they are coming, which is all right, because Brooklyn chapter is important. So that is why they are coming. Mercedes, are you there?
Oh, Eric Adam here. Do you want me to get him? No. Wait.
Yeah, if he's
Eric
here,
Adam, he just joined.
I don't know.
So, okay.
Okay, so now why don't you introduce some people, then we'll go back to these speakers, okay?
Introduce or go back, just finish this guest. Mercedes, then other one. Because we will take long time to introduce our chapter leaders.
Hi, how are you? I'm here.
Mercedes, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. And I want to say hello and thank you for what you're doing and what you've been doing in the community. South Asia has been the best, and you've been fighting for the great cause. And I'm not here on a platform for talking about my candidacy, but I want to say congratulations for all the work you have done. And it is time more than ever for us to work together as a nation, as people. So continue the great work, and the union being a cornerstone of my life. And I'm not going to detail because I will look for more opportunity when you open the platform for that. But I just want to say thank you so much for all the work, great work you've been doing. And I'm looking forward to working with you, and I will have the platform to talk to you more about my candidacy and the work that I have been doing in the community. So thank you. God bless you. Continue doing the great work, and we can do wonderful things together. Thank you so much.
Since you are here, Mercedes, why not you talk about your candidacy a little bit? Since you are here already, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Mercedes Narcisse. I'm a candidate for the 46th district, which is located in Canarsie, Flatlands, Bergen Beach, Old Mill Basin, Marine Park, Garrison Beach, and Shipshead Bay. I'm running for this position to serve and represent every single individual in my district. I came to the district over 35 years ago. My father came to look for a better life for us. And it was tough for me because I came from Haiti as a teenager with no word of English. And it was tough for me to access education, healthcare. But through hard work, I graduated from the high school in the community, Tilden High, and went on. I was able to earn my first degree as a registered nurse and serve the community. I have 4 wonderful children born and raised in the district who now are professional in diverse field of disciplines. I became a small business owner on Avenue L, where I became the president and partner with Brooklyn Chambers of Commerce. I was able to help other business owners to access services, including MWBE certification. I went on, I continued organizing, never stopped working and volunteering in my community. I organized the creation of many local groups, civic groups, including Canarsie by Choice, to give residents a platform to address issues that matter to them. That was back then, and I'm still continue working. And during this pandemic, the height of the pandemic, I was able to serve the seniors and anyone else that need my help. I have worked through Irene, to Sandy, to all the obstacles that we face in the community. We are able to address the community and making sure that they get to access the services that they need in the community. But
yes. Yes. Yeah, you and I known to each other for a long time.
Yes, we do.
When you ran last time, we had a very good conversation. I think at that time, I supported you. So today, it looks like this is a different format. As you said, you are right. And that forum will be different. I'm going to, my ASAAL is going to contact you, especially those who you are running in 46. Looks like we have too many friends are recommending too many people there. So it is one of the toughest district, the way I see it. And I love all of you because you have that heart, you want to lead, and you know we need the leaders who can lead those voiceless people, those who have none, those who are the least, those who are the lost in that community, and you are ready. So I will be in touch. Thank you very much for coming. I think we have a special guest. The Brooklyn Borough President is here, looks like. I thought he's there.
Yeah, he's here. I admitted him. Yeah.
Yes.
Very
good. So the Brooklyn Borough President is also a mayoral candidate, but he has been doing very big job for the community. He was police officer for 20 years, then later became state senator. From state senator in 2014, he became the Brooklyn Borough President, and today he's still the borough president and planning to run for the mayor. Without any further ado, Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Yes,
Good
my
seeing
brother.
you.
Go ahead.
Good seeing you, and also good seeing, my good friend Mercedes. I hope you're doing well. Good luck on your campaign.
Yeah.
And it's good seeing all of you. And every time I speak to the various groups in the city, I start out with the same thing that I end out with. I'm not a new friend. I'm an old friend. My relationships with particularly the Muslim, the South Asian, and all of the various communities in the city. We've soldiered together during tough times. And I remember so many moments that we stood together and fought for the things that were right. I will always consider myself to be a voice that would stand in the line of fire for the diverse groups in our city. And I look forward as the years go on, as we cycle out of these difficult times that we are in, that we have someone that understands us. There's nothing fancy about me. My nails are not polished. I got calluses on my hand. I'm a blue collar worker and a blue collar representative. I'm going to speak on behalf of the everyday union members and the blue collar people of the city. We've had over 70 years of white collar mayors that don't understand the diversity of the city. We have not had a mayor of color in over 30 years in this city. And that is why you see the people of color not having their voices heard in a loud way. This is going to be a difficult race. I'm extremely excited. We've raised over $8.6 million. The closest candidate to us is $1 million away. Every poll that you see shows that we are at the top of the poll. We have thousands of volunteers as well as thousands of contributors. New York Times called me and said, Eric, what's interesting about all your donors, you probably have the most South Asian, the most Caribbean, the most African Americans, the most Chinese, Koreans. I'm the United Nations candidate. My message resonates with the people of this city that have played the role in building the city. So I'm excited about the future. Many candidates have come in, many candidates have left, but I remain consistent. People are going to outdo many things, but they're not going to outwork me. I'm going to make sure that I speak on behalf of the people of the city like I did. 100 Black, like I did as a state secretary, I'm doing as the borough president. So I really thank you for allowing me to come on. This is an amazing organization. Keep doing the work that you're doing. And I thought I saw the face of our county leader, Ranis Bishad. Thank her for being the first woman of color to be the county leader in Brooklyn, and just continue to lift up this city and borough. This city and this borough should look like the people who make up this city and the borough and who are the workforce of this city and borough. They look like you, they look like me, they look like our parents, they look like so many who have not benefited from this city. That changes day one when I become the mayor of the city of New York. Again, thank you so much for allowing me to come on. I thank you for your friendship throughout the years. And I hope that friendship continues in the years to come. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on.
Mr. President, thank you very much. Really appreciate with the short notice, you just remember to come to join. I know you're busy, you are campaigning throughout the 5 boroughs. It's a big city, big population, many problems. So you are addressing everything every day, and wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we go back to Kurimbai and Dr. Mujibur Rahman. Would you kindly introduce your people? I know you started, you did some introduction, and we're going to, especially I told you we have people from leaders from other chapters are here. I want them to say a few words, introduce them. So please, Kurimbai, you want to get those people by looking at the...
Yes, I will do few of them, few leaders, our chapter leaders are there. So I would like to invite, our U.S. Capital Region chapter, U.S. Capital chapter president. He is actually the founding president there. Sharapat Hussain Babu, please introduce yourself. Just introduce here. Babu Bhai, please unmute and introduce yourself. So Albab Shwa, he's here. Okay, our Maryland chapter executive director Albab Shohag, please introduce yourself. He's there.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. I see here is our national president, Maf Mesbauddin, secretary, Mr. Muhammad Karim Chaudhuri, and I see lots of official electoral officials. I see Brooklyn chapter president, Dr. Mujibur Rahman, and all others, Brooklyn chapter members and other states leaders. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to join tonight this event. It is such a good event, and in future, if I see any other event from you guys, I will definitely join. And I have some question to Mr. Karim Chaudhuri and Maf Mesbauddin. I heard, if I am not wrong, you guys mentioned in New York City have 6 chapters. So if we can get those 6 chapters, president, secretaries, their contact information, that way from Maryland, we can help them little bit. Lots of our family members, relative, friends, they are living in New York City. So in future, they can contact with them and they can work together as a chapter member. And I like to thanks again, everyone. And once again, thank you so much, everybody. And happy Valentine from myself, from our president, Maryland chapter, Kabir Islam, from Secretary Hassan Chaudhuri, Maryland chapter, and from all others Maryland chapters members. Tell you guys, thank you so much and happy Valentine. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Albab Bhai. I see Kabir Bhai, Kabirul Islam, president of Maryland chapter. He was there. Are you there, Kabir Bhai? If you are there, please just introduce yourself. Now, so I would like to introduce now with our Albany chapter president, Professor Mizanur Rahman, who is a dedicated community activist who has been working from Albany to many other states, organizing South Asians and engaging them with the election process in respective areas. Please welcome Albany chapter president, Professor Mizanur Rahman, a PEP member, New York State Public Employee Federation, PEP member. Mizan Bhai.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Karim Chaudhuri, our General Secretary, ASAAL National Committee. And I have been honored with your service, with your recognition. And I'm really proud to be a part of this great initiative. So I am truly honored to see a lot of distinguished elected officials here, for the state officials and city and different county officials, political leaders, and distinguished ASAAL leaders from different chapters.
Okay, very good, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mizan Bhai, thank you. You will speak when the Brooklyn chapter will introduction, then they will allow you to speak. But just
all right, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me go to our other people from Queen chapter. We have a very dedicated team from Queen's chapter. Sultan Afa, our women leaders there, who created a lot of activities in Queens area, and she's joining everywhere when our chapter leaders call her to organize the women's and our community. So, while a spoken person, take the floor, please, Sultan Afa.
Assalamu alaikum.
Just introduction.
Sure. My name is Sultana Khanam. I'm a political action director in Queens chapter. And also, you also mentioned about women's committee. And just at the end, Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day to all executive members, president, all chapters, president, secretary, and members, and all other distinguished elected officials. Thank you.
Very good, very good. So also we have Afroza Begum. Roziapa, please introduce yourself from the Queen chapter, and she's a dedicated activist, organizer, great organizer, spent many times in phone banking and helping all the elections, not only in New York, in all other states where ASAAL is involved, our dedicated phone banker, Afroza Begum. Please introduce yourself. Just introduction, please.
Thank you, all of them. Happy Valentine. All of them, our executive member and elected official and our chapter president, secretary, all of them. Thank you. My name is Afroza Begum. I am the women leader in the Queens chapter. Thank you.
Okay. So, if any other person from other chapters, please introduce yourself, unmute and say just your name and the chapter name, please. I do not want to look in the 40 people list, so it will take more time. Please, if you are not a Brooklyn chapter, you are joining from any other chapter, just unmute and say your name and the chapter name. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. This is Mohammed Chaudhary from Manhattan chapter. I'm a Manhattan chapter president and union member, local 2627, DC 37, and I'm proud to join ASAAL. And
Musharba is also a life member.
Yeah, he's also a life member.
thank you for having me. And also, I would like to thank all elected officials and also whoever running for office. And I will wish you guys good luck. Thank you.
Okay. Next, anyone else, please? Outer chapter, out of Brooklyn chapter.
Yeah, then we'll come to the chapter. Manik Bhai is going to speak and others will say a few words.
Yeah, then I'll give it to Dr. Mujibur Rahman Majumdar to introduce his leadership and give them a little bit 1 minute time, please.
Sure. Thank you, Karim Bhai. Thank you, Maaf Bhai. And I would like to especially thank all the guest speakers that came, all our leaders, and the one that running for the election. Thank you very much. You really made this program a wonderful and successful program. I would like to now bring our very active members of the Brooklyn chapter ASAAL chapter committee. I'd like to introduce our senior vice president, Najmul Hassan Manik, who's been with ASAAL from the very beginning, and he is the one of the heart and soul of this organization in Brooklyn chapter, does a lot of community work. He's also leader of one of the biggest Bangladeshi community called Noakhali Shomiti. He's been in the business for a long time. And Manik Bhai, please introduce yourself and say a few words.
Manik Bhai, unmute yourself. Unmute.
You hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Thank you, our president, Dr. Mujibur Rahman, and our founder president, Mahmoud and our national secretary, Janab Karim Chaudhary. My name is Nazmul Hassan Manik. I am senior vice president of Brooklyn chapter. I'm working in ASAAL from the beginning, and I am from the beginning, and I am a life member. Also, my wife is a life member too.
Yes.
And I am also a community activist. I am a president of Greater Noakhali Society, USA, and involved many other organizations, mosques, this and that. So I am proud to be an ASAAL member and working with the ASAAL. Thank you very much to give me a chance to work, to talk.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manik Bhai. Now I'd like to ask our General Secretary, very dynamic secretary, Mr. Khairul Hussain, who is also involved in ASAAL from the very beginning and also one of the founder member of the Brooklyn chapter also, Mr. Khairul Hassan, who really the real heart and soul of this organization and made this today's program successful. Thank you, Mohammed Khairul.
Thank you, brother Mujib Bhai. Anyway, so I would like to good evenings, happy Valentine's. We are so glad tonight. We have so many political guests and mayoral candidate, Mr. Scott Stengers. Thank you for joining with us. My name is Khairul Hussain. I'm the secretary of Brooklyn chapter. I would like to thank everybody tonight, your present, your participation to make success tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank ASAAL founder and chairman, Mr. Maaf Mesbauddin, and National Secretary, Karim Chaudhary, for your unforgettable support. We cannot make it. So thank you very much again. I would like to special thanks to Brooklyn Chapter President, Mr. Mujibur Rahman, Senior Vice President Nazmul Hussain, Political Director Azizul Haq, Organization Director Nasim Ahmed Pintu, Dr. Jahid Dawan Shamim, Kamrul Hassan, Dr. Guljar, Dr. Nurul Islam, Mufizur Rahman Belal Mosque. Thank you so much, all Brooklyn chapter leaders, members, friends, and family, to give you times, your effort to make success this meeting. Last week, Friday, February 12th, the Brooklyn chapter joined sponsors with Council District 45, City Councilwoman Farah Louise, distribute masks and sanitize in Brooklyn community under the banner of Brooklyn chapter, ASAAL chapter. Thank you, Farah Louise, for your support and loving our community during the COVID-19 and pandemic. Thank you very much to join with us. I would like to thank all whoever is not, I don't tell their name. I don't have the list and that name, big list. So thank you very much for your hard working and your support. I would like to thank others, chapters leaders. They're joining with us and make success tonight. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khairul. I'd like to now bring one of our most active Brooklyn chapter member. I think you all know by his name, our political director, Muhammad Azizul Haq, who is one of the main key organizers of recent program. And also, I thank you for today's program. He really worked hard to make it happen. Mr. Aziz, please unmute and say a few words.
Aziz, unmute yourself, click the microphone, it will unmute and talk.
Yes.
Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. All of leaders, I am physically not so good, that's why I make a short briefing. I am really pleased to attend just with the conference, and also ASAAL member. I am proud as a Brooklyn chapter. I am doing something just a little bit for this. Brooklyn chapter is the biggest chapter in the, I think, New York, but we have a lot of powerful, many people living here, but we are not organized. Just I'm thinking we need to just making together, and we need to success every one event. So we need just go forward. And for future, just we are ready to work any type of event we give to us. We inshallah will be solve this one. But really fact, we have some of people here active, energetic, but we need organized. That's why I need to request all of our senior leader, just you can correspond with them and encourage them. Just we need to go forward. So thank you very much, all of leaders. So we need to, inshallah, progress everywhere. So bless me. I'm not physically good. That's why I am leaving. So Allah Hafiz, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aziz Bhai. Now I'd like to introduce one of our most hardworking person. He's one of the young and energetic leader of our Brooklyn chapter, Mr. Nasir Ahmed Pintu, who is also the organization's director of this chapter. And because of him, I believe the last program that we have with Belal Mosque is one of the main key person, made it successful and worked very hard in this cold weather. I was, really astonished to see his dedication for the community and for ASAAL. Mr. Nasir Ahmed Pintu, please say a few words. Introduce yourself. Unmute, yes.
Hello, good evening. I like to say one word: alone is nothing, united is something. So we are now United Brooklyn chapter. We're gonna do any program, anytime, anywhere. So we need support from our national president and secretary. They give us support. Last Friday we did a good job, and our volunteer, they are ready to work any type of job. like election and the pandemic situation. So we like to more help to our community and our society. And thank you, our President, Mr. Mujibur Rahman. He doing very hard job for us. And thank you so much. And our secretary too. And Aziz Bhai help us too much. Thank you for everybody. Thank you.
Very good, very good.
Thank you, Pintu. Thank you for your hard work. Now, I would like to introduce a few other people. Dr. Zahid Dewan Shamim, who is a senior researcher at NYU. He's Brooklyn Chapter ASAAL Vice President. I would like him to say a few words. Dr. Zahid Dewan Shamim, if you're there, can you please unmute?
Thank you, Dr. Mujibur Rahman Mujumdar. This is Zahid Dewan Shamim. I'm working in New York University School of Medicine, Langone Medical Center as a senior scientist. I'm very new. Mujibur told me about this. So hopefully Mujibur is there, and there are a lot of promising people and elected official or candidate for upcoming election. So I believe you guys are doing great job. If I with you, I believe I'll be more happy to do that. Hopefully in future, if I have anything from my side, I can happy to do that. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Zahid Dewan. Now I'd like to introduce our another Vice President, also a physician, Dr. Gulzar Hussain, who also lives in Brooklyn, works in Brooklyn, and who has also participated in our last program in Belal Mosque in this, cold weather. He came and, help us to make this program successful. Dr. Gulzar Hussain, can you please say a few words? Unmute yourself. Yes.
Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Gulzar. I'm the president of Brooklyn Broadway Jami Masjid. Last 19 years, I'm the founder of that mosque. And with Dr. Mujibur Rahman, I know him almost 30 years. We are working together. Though I'm new of these things, but he explained me all of these things. And the last program I joined in Belal Mosque. Inshallah, all the leaders, I was last 1 hour, I was listening, I'm learning, and inshallah in future, we're gonna work together. And today is the happy Valentine for every leaders, all the viewers who are listening this one. And we Brooklyn chapter, we saw over there in Belal Mosque, a lot of dedicated volunteers. I was over there, Dr. Mujib and Ms. Farah Lewis over there. We meet over there, and I saw one event over there. Inshallah, any event in future, we work neck to neck, future election, whatever the things, we're gonna work together. I know not a single brain is not the perfect things, the several and unity. The unity is the strength. I did a lot of other political experience I have. Inshallah, the leadership with Dr. Mujibur Rahman and all the other ASAAL leaders, we're going to work future. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Happy Valentine's. Thank you very much.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you, Dr. Gulzar Hussain. I'd like to ask another Vice President if he's here, Mr. Abu Bakr Mustafa. Are you there? He was here earlier. I have seen him. Can you please unmute and say a few words? Maybe he left. Okay. I would like to introduce our Youth Secretary, Mehrab Hussain Asif. Asif, are you here? I saw you earlier. Anyway, I would like to go back to our Secretary, Mr. Muhammad Khairul Hussain. If you're there, am I missing anybody from Brooklyn chapter? I know there a lot of people came and they also, maybe because of Valentine, they left. Mr. Khairul Hussain.
No, we have one guy, Abul Mansoor.
Mansoor.
Yeah, Abul Mansoor on the line, man.
Muhammad Mansoor, Abul Mansoor. Please
Mansur bhai,
Unmute
unmute and
yourself.
introduce yourself, please. Unmute and introduce.
Mansur bhai, are you there?
Abul Mansur.
Not there.
Okay, I guess, So anyway, if I'm anybody from Brooklyn chapter, if I'm missing, because it's a lot of people in the screen, it's hard to.
I just want to say I'm Jed Madeline. I'm a proud member of the Brooklyn chapter. I'm a lifetime member of ASAAL. I'm a lifetime member of ASAAL. I want to thank you, Dr. Rahman. You're doing a great job as president. As always, I thank Maf Misbah-Uddin, the founder. I thank Kareem Chowdhury, the vice president. You're all doing a great job. Everybody should know that when ASAAL endorses a candidate, 99% of the time the candidate wins. And ASAAL endorsement means victory. And I'm proud to be a member of ASAAL, and I will continue to work hard for ASAAL. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jed. Your screen is so dark, I couldn't see your face. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Mujib bhai, then I have one person from Staten Island I would like to introduce. He's none but you all know him. He's my good friend. Now he's a candidate for City Council District 49 here in Staten Island. He's a ASAAL member, activist, and leader here in Staten Island, and he's also an adjunct professor. And as a state employee, he works with the surrogate court judge. And he's a good friend, and he's a originally African. We in Staten Island, we built the coalition with African, Latinos, Caribbeans, and all other Asian and minority groups here. So he's a coalition member from the African community, and we have many African countries, people joining the Staten Island chapter. So I would like to welcome my good friend, ASAAL activist, now in New York City Council District 49 candidate, Abu C. Abu, please unmute and say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed Shaduri, my good friend. And first and foremost, I just wanted to acknowledge, Mr. Maf for the outstanding work that he's doing really in the community. Not only one community, I will say, nationwide. And this is actually because of the ASAAL leadership, and I'm always pleased, to be part of the process. And I think, we all seeking, actually to better our community, our respective community. And I heard some of my fellows, really public servants say the same thing, and I think we believe in social change, and we believe in improving the justice system, and it has to come, from our background. And we all in our respective roles and responsibility from different capacity, what we have done as really an advocate, as a organizer, and as someone is just to meet people where they are and really to elevate them, because we have a responsibility of protecting, but we have a responsibility of also making a difference in our respective community. And a lot has been said today, and I heard, my sister Shirley Paul, who said it. I'm an immigrant from Senegal, West Africa. And when I first come in America, I'm a first generation. I didn't have nobody to walk me through the process. I remember going to St. George Library in Staten Island to really better my English, my broken English, because Senegal belonged to the French colony. And that was a good start. I didn't know how to navigate the social services. I didn't have no mentor at that time. And it's very difficult moment where I sat and reflect and say, you know what, I have to do something really to empower myself, but empower my other immigrant fellows. This is how I involve in community work. And yes, Mr. Chowdhury said it, as a public advocate who care the well-being of ordinary citizens. And as you know, especially in this context of COVID, a lot of individuals, family, in our respective community who struggle really hard to put bread on the table. And I think during this process, nobody should be left behind. We have a sole responsibility to empower and to empower who are the most vulnerable. And being, really as a co-chair of the Staten Island Immigrant Council, And I think, most of the people I have been served, came to me straightforward and say, you know what, after 18 years of services in our borough, we want you to continue the journey in Manhattan because we can lean on you. You can be our voice. We can advocate on our behalf. And this is why I'm running for city council, to stay short. And again, I look forward to meeting each of you because New York City is indivisible. We have 5 boroughs, but we all standing for the same cause. And I look forward to working for each of you. And thank you again, Mohammed Chowdhury, for the outstanding introduction. And to all ASAAL members nationwide. I'm from Africa. I am the founding member of the African coalitions in Staten Island, and I believe in diversity and inclusion. And we need to join initiatives such as the one that ASAAL has displayed all over in America, because ASAAL is really a model of success, and we need to follow your footsteps to better our community every single day. As we say in Africa, to conclude, the largest room in the world is the room called improvement, and we are on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Karim bhai, I just like to introduce one more very important member of my Brooklyn chapter, Akram bhai. Akram bhai, he's one of our police officer also, and he's been with Brooklyn chapter ASAAL for many years. Akram bhai, please say a few words. I don't know whether you're working at this time or not. You are maybe.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Akram, and thank you very much. Awesome that I heard a lot of elected officials and people are running for election. That's a good thing, good forum. The awesome meeting. All credit go to all of the ASAAL leaders. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Mujib, I would like to introduce one of your very active and vibrant member from Brooklyn chapter. He was our ex-secretary for Brooklyn chapter, Muhammad Alam. Alam bhai, are you there? Please.
Where is he? I was looking for his name. Muhammad Alam bhai. Yeah, I can see him now. Can you please unmute? He was our last secretary.
You have seen him that last snowstorm. He was cleaning the public street.
Right.
For the people.
Yeah, yes.
And Alam bhai, please say a few words. Unmute and say a few words. Okay, you are there.
Unmute.
I think he unmuted.
No, not yet. Alam bhai, yes.
Yes.
No, it's going back. Again, unmute again.
Oh my God, what it is?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to this meeting. I heard all of this meeting from beginning to end. I saw the lot of official is here, so a lot of hope is here. And our Brooklyn chapter, the people, I see the committee people is the great job. Last week they did the great job, wonderful job. Thank you very much, Brooklyn chapter. You did the good job. So I like to thank our national secretary and the president. They are organizing. They are united us, so they can help us to bring up our community in front line. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you. Karim bhai, I'd like to also recognize Mr. Salim, who always work, quietly for us and make sure that we are online and, in the Facebook and in the, I would like to recognize our very own Salim bhai, US on.
Salim bhai, please unmute.
Thank you.
You want to say a few words, Salim bhai? Please unmute. He's a very humble man. Talk very little, work very hard.
You work always.
Yes.
So we will go forward, and when he comes, then we'll.
I think he's unmuted now. Salim bhai, go ahead.
Thank you everybody. অনেক সুন্দর প্রোগ্রাম। বিশ্ব ভালোবাসা দিবসে সবাইকে ভালোবাসা।
Thank you.
Without Salim bhai, nothing going to happen. We internationally broadcaster, our media partner.